Morning, peeps. Good morning, people. Apologies. It's been a few days. I know. I've just been running around like a headless chicken. Boy, did you see Canelo's two-piece to Caleb Plant yesterday? Ooh, ooh. Got him with a two-piece. We're gonna discuss that. In fact, you know what? We're going live tonight. We're gonna go live tonight at 7:30. 7:30. We're going live tonight to discuss everything. Because that two-piece was just clean, a step back. And then he caught him with what I think was a left hook. But Canelo's obviously smart. He's not fully fisted. He's slapping, almost pushing and slapping. So caught him with a left hook, then a right. It was fast. I mean, if I'm Caleb Plant, I'm like, yo, we need to reassess training now because I couldn't catch that guy. I don't know if Caleb Plant was trying to swing. Like, was he trying to swing to connect or swing to scare? I don't know. But regardless, he got caught. There's a gash under I think his right cheek. That's going to need to be stitched. But yeah, that was a fiery press conference. I mean, we're seeing a different Canelo, aren't we? We saw, obviously, Billy Joe Saunders bring out a bit of animosity in Canelo. Demetrius Andrade at the post-fight press conference did. But Caleb Plant's really bringing out something in him. I think Canelo doesn't understand, maybe it's his English, the term motherfucker. Well, to be fair, when you think of the term, it says what it says, but it doesn't mean that. And I think Canelo kept thinking that Caleb Plant was dissing his mother. Well, he wasn't. But I understand why Canelo would think that. So I think that term really got Canelo upset. Because even after the two-piece, when they actually did the press conference, remember that two-piece, by the way, was before the press conference. So that two-piece was when they just walked up just to kind of do the face-off. So during the press conference, when Caleb Plant is going at him again, and he calls him a motherfucker again, Canelo steps up and says, don't talk about my mum. So I think he maybe doesn't get it. But yo, we're going to talk about that because I love that. I got a friend, and he's like, oh, they're spoiling boxing. Boxing's a pure art form, and how dare they do this? I was like, get out of here, man. Like, let them do that shit. I do not mind that at all. What I don't like is when it's fake. I don't like the WWE gimmicky stuff, but the real stuff like that, you've got me interested. Take my money. You have got me interested. Anyway, look, we'll be doing a live 7:30 this evening discussing all of that. Discussing not just that, we're going to talk obviously AJ Usyk. You know what, yeah? There's a couple of sleepers on the undercard. I'm going to go for it now. There's a couple of sleepers. Obviously, it might not be the undercard that everyone's screaming for, and I get that, but there's a couple of sleepers. I was at the media workout yesterday just watching a few, and you watch a few fighters that you don't know too much about, and like, he's got something. You know, like when you used to play football and someone would do a step over and like, yo, where's that come from? There's a couple of fighters yesterday that showed me something. I was like, they are sleepers. They are sleepers. Like Florian Marcoux in a fight. I'm telling you now, he is in a fight. Trust me, don't be sleeping on that one. I think that one is, I think that might be the third fight on, I think. But don't sleep on that. So, look, we'll go through it. AJ obviously was at the media workout yesterday. Didn't do anything, if I'm honest with you. It was a bit of a disappointing media workout. You want to see the guys really go through their paces, hit the pads. I think only about 5 or 6 fighters hit pads. Like, I think Okoli might have hit pads a little bit. Usyk did nothing, just juggled a few balls. I'm like, so I don't care about your ball juggling skills. Hit the pads. Like, show me some stuff, right? It's a media workout. Like, well, what is this? AJ did nothing. AJ did a bit of shadow boxing. AJ was literally in the ring, I will say, for about 2 minutes. Done nothing. No skipping, he normally does all that kind of stuff. Done nothing. So it was a bit of a disappointing media workout, but look, they don't want to be there. When you're this close to a fight, you just want to be back in your hotel rooms, relaxing, just chilling out. The last thing you want to do is media, but it's part and parcel of the business. You've got to do the media. I'm off to the hotel later on this evening. I point there because the hotel literally just, I could stay at my flat, and there probably will be a night where I just stay at my flat because the hotel is just 5 minutes away from my house. So that's where all the fighters and the media, aside from AJ, are going to be. So I will check in after the live. Yeah, I'll go in after. In fact, I'll check in a bit earlier, come back, do the live, and then go there. But yeah, we've got a meeting with DAZN just to go through a couple of things. I am going to do that behind the scenes videos, so you guys know we're going to keep you up to date with what goes on behind the scenes, and it's pretty good. With all the fighters in the same hotel, it's going to be good to kind of get some stuff. We've got the DAZN boxing show on Thursday. I think I'm interviewing Usyk today. I'll have to double check because Barack might be doing it. Barack's flying in from America on a red eye. He could be doing it. So yeah, DAZN boxing show Thursday, DAZN boxing show Friday with Akam, Barack and myself. And the DAZN boxing show on Saturday, me, Ak, Barack, Roy Jones Jr. and a few others. So it's exciting. It's exciting. Let's talk about the main event. I've been going on a bit, so apologies. I can't wait. As an AJ fan, obviously very, very scared. Very scared. And that's, in a way, that's how I should be. This is what big time boxing is, right? Big time boxing. We've had a few circus acts recently. When you're at the top table of boxing, it should be close fights. It should be fearful. It shouldn't be walkover. It shouldn't be gimmies. You shouldn't ask 100 people and 100 people say, yeah, AJ. No. You should ask 100 people and 100 people should be like, oh, AJ favorite, but this is, like a 60-40, 75, or sorry, 70-30 split, 65-35. Those should be the splits. That's top level boxing for me. That's how it should be. AJ is definitely lighter. I knew he was lighter when I went to Sheffield and saw him, but then seeing him at the workout, or what was a workout yesterday, I was looking at him thinking, okay, he's definitely lighter. He's going to come in around 17.2, 17.3 max, I would say, which is light. Still thick set. But he certainly isn't as lean as he was in Saudi Arabia for Ruiz too. That surprised me. I remember looking at him thinking, Jesus Christ, like, this is really small. It certainly isn't that. But he's definitely lighter. Although when I spoke to him in Sheffield, he says, that's not even really a thing. With the weight comes off, it comes off. I do think they have said, okay, we do need to come in a bit lighter to be able to kind of move with Usyk. Like you can't, AJ is not going to be as good a mover as Usyk. It's not going to happen, but at least try and move with him. So when Usyk does try and do his crazy, things where he cuts the ring off, you can also move out of the pockets. And I think that's important. I think that AJ's got to dent Usyk early. I think AJ has got to make Usyk respect his power early. If you remember the Teofimo Lopez-Loma fight, and I only make that comparison. By the way, I thought Loma was going to be there yesterday. He wasn't. I make the comparison with Teofimo and Loma because Loma does all that movement as well, and it's quite intimidating. But if you dent them early, they don't want to come in the pocket anymore. And for the first 5 or 6 rounds in that Teofimo Lopez-Loma fight, Lopez dented Loma early, and Loma was very hesitant to come into the pocket and do his magic. So I almost feel like AJ's got to do that a bit with Usyk, where you've got to hurt him, and then you make Usyk question, okay, if I do come in, like I've been doing, I'm going to get hit with that ramrod jab, or I'm going to get hit with an uppercut, or we know AJ likes the left hook. So AJ's got to do that. If he doesn't do that, then Usyk starts to do what he does and, starts to get comfortable and starts to go through the gears and starts to look into the tool bag and bring out that tool and that tool. And it could get scary. It could get scary. Usyk's an unbeaten fighter for a reason. Usyk dominated cruiserweight for a reason. He's a very, very high level, highly skilled operator. Very. So is AJ. Don't sleep on it because there's been a lot of talk in the build-up about what AJ's got to do. What's Usyk got to do? What's Usyk got to do? Usyk's the one that's coming up. Well, he's now a heavyweight, but you know what I mean? He's the smaller guy coming up. What's he got to do to win the belts from the champion? There's so much talk in this build-up. Okay, AJ's got to do this. AJ's got to do that. AJ's weight management's got to be this. AJ's got to use his jab. Usyk's got to do a hell of a lot to beat AJ. Trust me. This is no disrespect to the names I'm going to mention, but AJ's no Gassiev. AJ's no Bradis. AJ's no Michael Hunter. AJ's no Bellew. AJ's no Chisora or Witherspoon. AJ's better than all of those guys I just mentioned. He hits harder than all of those guys I just mentioned. I think like his tunnel vision is on now. So it's not going to be no walk in the park for Usyk. Trust me on this one. I'm lucky, obviously, that I'm going to be there. I can't wait. 65,000. Boxing, not that boxing needs. Boxing will always get through because boxing's boxing. For all the bullshit, it still gives you some good meat on the bones. But boxing does need a big one, and this is a big one. Trust me, it's a big one. I know it's a big one because, there's a few reasons I know. obviously there's a few people that know I'm going to be working at the event, and these are people that are not boxing fans. And like, hey, Addy, any tickets? It's that. It's when I start to hear from those people, I'm like, oh, okay, there's interest there. You know, when I go to the gym and I know people that, you know, wouldn't even ask me about a Canelo Billy Joe Saunders fight, but it's because it's AJ. They're like, oh, how's AJ going to do? You know, and I know this is when I definitely know it's a big one. This week I've done stuff for an Asian TV company. I've done stuff for a Turkish TV company as well. And I've done something for ESPN Africa. That's when I know, when those kind of companies start reaching out, especially the Asian and the Turkish, then I know, okay, that this is a big fight. So it is a big fight. And I can't wait for it. Let's quickly bring up the undercard again and go through that. Because I know there's a lot of stick with it. And look, I get it. I'll tell you what there's been a lot of stick with. Brown Babbage. But so one thing I didn't want to do when I joined DAZN, or even I do some stuff for Matchroom, is not give my very honest opinion on a matchup. When I saw Brown versus Babbage, or Babbage versus Brown, very disappointed. I'd rather have Babbage versus Nick Webb, who's coming off a knockout defeat to Fabio Ward. I'd rather have that. Brown was done 4 years ago. When Dillian White slept him, he was done. When Dave Allen put him down with a body shot, he was done. Was it a body shot? I think it was a body shot, he was done. But if that's not done, then him getting beat by an ex-rugby player 4 or 5 months ago, getting knocked out, he's done. It's a shame that. That's bad matchmaking. And I can admit that to you guys. Like, I'm not, again, like, I want to try and be as real as possible. Also be conscious that, you know, DAZN pay me a wage, but it's not good enough. It's not good enough at all. And I actually sent that to someone I know at DAZN. I was like, yes, you know, this is going to get some stick. Just the same way I told him that when there was rumors about Dillian White, Ariola, I said, that's going to get some stick. Trust me, as a boxing fan, that's not going to go down well. And as soon as I heard about Babbage Brown, I was like, that ain't going to go down well. And it certainly didn't. It certainly didn't. All right, let's look. All right, so Christopher, this is an interesting fight, by the way. Again, sleepers. I'm going to butcher this guy's name, and I've got to make sure I pronounce it correctly on the day. But Christopher Usyk, 12-0, a middleweight from Chicago, I believe. Very interesting as to why he's on the card. I'm guessing maybe AJ's trying to sign him, maybe Matchroom signed him, and that DAZN American thing, I'm not quite sure. Don't know too much about him, but he's fighting Basungarov. No idea how this fight's going to play out. I need to do a bit more studying on both of those, but this is for the WBA Intercontinental Middleweight title. Maxim Prodon, unbeaten, 19-0 versus Florian Marcoux, who's also unbeaten, 8-0, one draw. Both of them have got a draw, actually. Don't sleep on this fight, please. Please, I'm telling you. I was watching Maxim Prodon, who was one of the only boxers to really put in a proper, you know, media workout, and what Marcoux did to an extent as well. I was watching him closely. While everyone was chit-chatting, I was just there in the middle, just watching him thinking, this is a tough fight. You know, you just see something from someone. I was like I had Sam Jones next to me, and Sam Jones was, you know, obviously saying like, these boys going to put a whipping on it. And I was like, I don't think so, you know. Like, honestly, I looked, I was thinking, he's a big welterweight. From Ukraine, now based, I think, in Spain. Nah, I mean, please, I'm telling you people, don't sleep on this fight. I think this fight is third on. So you've got Daniel Lapin. That's the first fight on. Then you got Christopher Usyk. Then you got Maxim Prodon. Then I believe, could be wrong here, people. I believe you've got Callum Smith, Lenin Castillo, I think. Then you've got Campbell Hatton, which might raise some eyebrows, but hey, it's the world of boxing. Then you've got a Okolu, who's co-main event, then AJ. Callum Smith versus Lenin Castillo. Obviously, Callum Smith's first fight, 175 pounds. It was good to see him yesterday look a bit more, just a bit more fuller. Like, I've seen Callum Smith 3 or 4 days before a boxing event, and obviously the weight cut must be a difficult one. He does look a bit fuller. He's with Buddy McGirt, who's a Hall of Fame trainer, who's going to show him a couple of different things. Again, I don't expect to see those things happen overnight, but I expect to see some differences. Fight tool would be one of them, right? Use your attributes. Although Castillo is no small guy himself, you know. Again, I said this, like, all the advantages that Callum Smith has at 168. He's still a very big guy for 175, but a lot of those advantages go because a lot of the guys at 175 are 6'2", 6'3". A lot of them are. Like people talk about Boatsy, for example. I don't think people think Boatsy's small. I'm 5'11". Boatsy's 2 inches taller than me, definitely. So they are big guys at 175. But you don't want to look past Castillo, who fought for a world title against Dimitri Bivol a couple of years back, got dropped in the 6th round in that fight. I've started to do my research. You don't look past him, but you are thinking if Callum Smith does smash him, like put a beating on him, then the Bivol fight's there to make, or the Boatsy fight's there to make. So there's options. And Okoli versus Prasovic, look, Okoli for me is a star in the making. And look, I don't know if he'll be a star in the sense of he'll get the casual fans to cross over and really support him like AJ does. I'm not quite sure about that. I don't think that's a one-off. What I'm talking about is an O2 star, Manchester Arena star, just because Okoli for me has not even got through 3rd gear and he's world champion. And I mean that. When I watch him, I'm like, there's so much more to come, and I think there is. So I think once he gets past Prasovic, and he will get past Prasovic, he'll stop him. Then Bradis has decided to stay at cruiserweight. Bradis was talking about going to heavyweight. Makabu's there as well. So there are options there. We'll be looking at unification fights next year. We'll be looking. Let's quickly give my prediction for AJ Usyk. I think AJ wins on points. I've kind of flirted with the idea of AJ stopping him late, which I think would be nice. It would be a statement because there has been a lot of talk about AJ being ringside for Wilder Fury. And that would be a statement, right? You stop Usyk, then you're ringside and you're just staring at them like, come on, who's next? But I think it will be a close fight. I think AJ's going to have to come through some adversity, and so he should. This is again the top table. I think AJ to stop him late or points, but I'm leaning to points. I'm thinking points, close, 117, 11, 116, 112. It's going to be close. I think Usyk's going to win some rounds. I think Usyk's going to win some rounds and he's going to look very, very good, but I think AJ's going to dent him. He's going to detonate some of his bombs, the uppercuts, and I think Usyk's going to be scared and afraid to come in just because he's not been hit like that before. No one he would have faced is going to hit him as hard as AJ is going to hit him. No one. So, let's see. Looking forward to it. Peace and love.